reduction, as well as the consequences of this program that we already see unfolding. We have compiled evidence to prove that the elite have been obsessed with eugenics and its modern-day incarnation, population control, for well over 100 years. Well, we already know that. The goal of global population reduction is still in force to this very day. And when we talk about what they did in North Carolina here in a little bit, I'm going to confirm this, that this is absolute fact. This agenda of depopulation is alive, well, and active this very moment that you're listening to me now. As was reported last month by the London Times, a secret billionaires club meeting in early May, which took place in New York, was attended by David Rockefeller, Ted Turner, Bill Gates, and others, was focused on how their wealth could be used to slow the growth of the world's population. These are the elites. These are the people that want to use these eugenics for this depopulation. Says this is from Prison Planet, said, we questioned establishment media spin, portrayed the attendees of kind-hearted and concentrated philanthropists by pointing out that Ted Turner has publicly advocating shocking population reduction programs that could cull the human population by staggering 95%. He's also called for a communist-style one-child policy to be mandated by governments in the West. Now, in China, the one-child policy is enforced by means of taxes on each subsequent child. And this is aligned with an intimidation program, which includes secret police and family planning, authorities kidnapping pregnant women from their homes, and performing forced abortions. Now, of course, Turner completely fails to follow his own rules on how everyone else should live their lives, having 5 children, and he owns no less than 2 million acres of land. See, because it's okay for them, it's not okay for us. Do you see the way this is going here? These people, just like the song says, they want it all and they want it now. These are people who assume that because of their wealth and their self-assuming high status, that the world belongs to them. People like you and I are just in the way. Get out of the way. Get off of my earth. You know, in the third world, Ted Turner has contributed literally billions to population reduction, namely through United Nations programs. He's leading the way for the likes of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. And I don't know if you knew this, but Bill Gates' father has been a leading board member of Planned Parenthood for a lot of years. Bill Gates' father is one of Planned Parenthood's top eugenicists. I bet you didn't know that. Bill Gates has an interest in this because Daddy is a bigwig eugenicist at Planned Parenthood. Well, the notion that these elites merely want to slow population growth in order to improve health is a complete misnomer. Slowing the growth of the world's populations and improving its health are two inconceivable concepts, especially to these people. Stabilizing world population is a natural byproduct of higher living standards, and it's been proven by the stabilization of the white population in the West. Now, elitists like David Rockefeller have no interest in slowing the growth of world population by natural methods. Their agenda is firmly rooted in the pseudoscience of eugenics. It's all about culling the surplus population through draconian methods. They want it done now. David Rockefeller's legacy is not derived from any well-meaning urge to improve health in third world countries. It's born out of the Malthusian drive to eliminate the poor and everyone that they deem racially inferior. They are using social Darwinianism. You know, Rockefeller's father, John D. Rockefeller, he exported eugenics to Germany from its origins in Britain by bankrolling the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute. And that later became a central pillar in the Third Reich's ideology in the Nazi super race. And I'm not kidding about this stuff. After the fall of Nazism, these top German eugenicists were protected by the Allies as the winning parties fought over who would enjoy their expertise in the post-war world. Now we know that we imported scientists, and at the time they said these are scientists who were working on the nuclear bomb and getting hard watered. I don't know if anybody is aware of this, but during World War II, there was a time race battle between Germany and the U.S. to come up with a nuclear weapon. Now the difference was hard water. If whoever came up with this hard water first was going to be the one that was going to have the nuclear bomb first. Now, the Nazis tried very hard. In fact, they had a boatload of hard water in 55-gallon drums. And this boat was on its way to Germany with this full load of 55-gallon drums of hard water. Well, the Allies, British and us, found out about this boatload of hard water. And we destroyed it before it made it to Germany. That gave us hard water first and prevented Germany from getting the hard water for this nuclear bomb. Well, they brought in these scientists from Germany after the war because they said, because of their scientific expertise in all of these things. Well, it just so happens, it's just a coincidence that the scientists, the majority of them that they brought in, were eugenicists. These were people who worked on the eugenics program in the Nazis' program in the concentration camps. So when they say that they were Britain and America was battling over who would get what scientist from Germany, they're saying because of their scientific knowledge. Well, it was also because some of these were more hardline eugenicists than others. All of them were eugenicists. They were in the eugenics program. That's where they were taken out of. Virtually all of them. If they weren't eugenicists, they weren't in the program. Hitler made sure that he had the right people in the right place, much like President Obama's doing now when it comes to Holder. He's making sure he has the right people in the right place. Well, Hitler did the same thing. He had a massive eugenics program, and he had to have eugenists under him to fulfill his dream, which was to wipe out anybody he felt was inferior. You know, Dr. Lynn Horowitz wrote in the 1950s that the Rockefellers organized the U.S. eugenics movement in their own family offices with spin-off population control and abortion groups. Spin-off population control and abortion groups. The Eugenics Society changed its name to the Society for the Study of Social Biology. It's the same name that you'll find today. Look it up. This was organized by the Rockefellers as a eugenics movement. Population control and abortion. Society for the Study of Social Biology. Social biology. It exists today. The Rockefeller Foundation had financed the eugenics movement in England, apparently repaying Britain for the fact that Britain's capital and English partner had studied old senior John Rockefeller and had conned him basically out of his oil. He put it in a trust in the 1960s. The Eugenics Society of England adopted what they called crypto-eugenics. And it started in their official reports that they would do eugenics through means of instruments not labeled as eugenics. That means things like Planned Parenthood, contraceptives. When we talked about the X-rays, they would do eugenics through means and instruments not labeled as eugenics. With support from the Rockefellers, the Eugenics Society in England set up a subcommittee called the International Planned Parenthood Federation, which for 12 years, they had no other address than the Eugenics Society. That was their address. International Planned Parenthood Federation. Their address was the Eugenics Society. This, then, is the private international apparatus which has set up the world for a global Holocaust under the UN flag. Now, in the later half of the 20th century, eugenics changed its face to become known as population control instead of eugenics, because eugenics was not a pretty word in the early 20th century. Population control. In 1974, geopolitical strategy documents prepared by Rockefeller's intimate friend and fellow Bilderberg member Henry Kissinger, which targeted 13 countries for massive population reduction by means of creating food scarcity. Henry Kissinger is now declassified. This document's declassified from 1974. National Security Memorandum 200, where Kissinger outlines the plan to use food scarcity as a weapon in order to achieve population reduction in less developed countries. The document, which was declassified in 1989, identified 13 countries that were of special interest to the geopolitical objectives and outlined with overpopulation growth. In fact, you know what? We're at the top of the hour here. I'm going to take a short break, but when I come back, I want to play you a clip about this depopulation control, and then I want to talk a little bit about this clip that we're going to play, and then I want to play this interview with Margaret Sanger that has this funny cigarette commercial in it. So please hear from our sponsors again. Don't go away, because I'm coming right back. We're going to continue this with the Obama agenda and with Margaret Sanger, and after that we're going to talk about the genocide in North Carolina present day. So whatever you do, don't go away. I'll be right back. You're listening to W. Dean Shook, In Time, Prophecy News, and Current Events. Stay tuned. GoDaddy offers everything you need to make a name for yourself on the web, from domain names and website builders to complete e-commerce solutions. We've earned our place as the world's #1 accredited domain registrar by delivering world-class products at competitive prices and support them with industry-best services delivered 24/7, 365. We're proud to serve our customers from locations around the world. Sign up now at wdeanshook.com and get your domain name as low as $5.99 a year. Sign up now at wdeanshook.com. Go, Daddy. Go, Daddy.